It's the 2021 NBA playoffs, the first round to be exact. The Lakers had just been eliminated in 6 games to the eventual Western Conference champions, the Phoenix Suns. This would be the first time in LeBron James' career where he would lose this early in the playoffs. It was disappointing to say the least, especially since less than a year before, LeBron had just won his 4th NBA title and Finals MVP, as the Lakers looked dominant in the NBA bubble, beating the Heat in a not-so-close 6 games. Fast forward to the offseason. The Lakers, as they always do, had rumblings of new players they were trying to acquire. We already know about Melo and Russ. There were 2 players that are also part of those rumblings who didn't end up getting traded for because they got Russell Westbrook instead. Those 2 players, as we all know, were Buddy Hield and Demar Derozan. Buddy Hield, a career 40% three-point shooter, definitely would have been beneficial to Lakers offense. But passing on DeMar DeRozan might cost the Lakers an NBA championship. There are 2 issues that became apparent with the Lakers throughout the series. Number 1, their lack of a third option on offense outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis. 2, they lacked the depth that the Miami Heat had, which is why the series, which should have ended in 4 with the Heat missing 2 of their best players, went all the way to 6 games. So during the offseason, they went out and got rid of guys while also bringing in new guys to improve depth and scoring options, including at the time reigning 6th Man of the Year Montrezl Harrell and 6th Man candidate Dennis Schroeder. And by the 2021 season, they were a different team. You could say this team was actually better on paper, but due to injuries, they fell short come playoff time. LeBron missed a lot of time and came back right before the playoffs. And AD missed a lot of time as well and also got injured in the first round. Because of injury too, the Lakers' on-court chemistry was off. You know the phrase, don't fix it if it ain't broke? This term could be applied here. And they made the same mistake this offseason, bringing in new guys again and trying to stack as much talent, while also ignoring fit, ultimately leading to the issues even today. And now that we're talking about the roster, let's talk about another issue this roster has. For the bottom 10 teams in three-point attempts, they have the 4th worst three-point percentage, with Philly beating them out by 0.1 for the 3rd worst. Nets and Suns are 2 teams who are believed to be rivals versus the Lakers, and also are bottom 10 in three-point attempts. But the Suns are shooting 36.5% and the Nets are shooting 35.3%. The Lakers are shooting 34.8. And also, when you look at the Lakers roster, 6 of their players are shooting below league average from 3, and 5 of those 6 players are shooting below 31%. Those 6 players also combine for 23 point attempts per game, and all play more than 16 minutes per game. One of those 6 players is Russell Westbrook, so let's talk about him. Now, honestly, I don't think Russell Westbrook has been as big as an issue as he was early on in the season and as people like to make him out to be. But he does kill spacing and he does take questionable shots. Another guy, also a part of those 6 players, is Anthony Davis. Now let's talk about Anthony Davis for a second. Anthony Davis, ever since the 2020 finals, hasn't looked the same, which is crazy considering hypothetically at the age of 28, he should be peaking as an NBA player. Anthony Davis hasn't been as great as he should be on defense. Looking at his defensive rating, in the 2020 and in 2019-2020 NBA season, Anthony Davis had a defensive rating of 101.8. The next season, he had a defensive rating of 103.5. Now this season, he has a defensive rating of 104.2. That is the 3rd worst defensive rating he's had in his career. And also, his offense obviously hasn't been as good as his three-point shooting is at 18%. And when looking at his offense, Anthony Davis has become little more than a lob threat, it seems, as his jump shots aren't falling. Now, looking at his shot chart, from shots less than 8 feet, he's hitting 70%. In the restricted area, he's shooting 74%. Once you get outside of that, his shooting percentage starts taking a dip. At the age of 28, it almost seems like Anthony Davis has digressed as a player. A major issue for this team, I feel like, is versatility. Given that 2 of their best players are poor shooters, leads to them having very few lineups that they can run without sacrificing spacing, which is one of the most important things in today's game. I also have to talk about LeBron James. LeBron James is still carrying the Lakers in his 19th season at the age of 37. So that's another thing about Anthony Davis. He needs to step up as that second guy, especially given that LeBron, at his current age, the decline is expected to happen eventually. It's the inevitable. Especially given how LeBron has been dealing with injuries a lot more recently, he's going to need more help if the Lakers want to continue to be a top team in the West. Now, what does this have to do with DeMar DeRozan? Now, the reason why the Lakers picked Russell Westbrook was because of what he offers as a playmaker. They felt they needed another playmaker outside of LeBron so they wouldn't have to be so dependent on him. But I always felt what they needed was more than just a playmaker, or what they really needed was a shot creator. Lakers do have shooters, but they aren't exactly that consistent. When your shooters aren't consistently knocking down shots, who are you going to rely on to get you a bucket? Like I said, outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis, I feel like a shot creator, especially one like Demar Derozan, would offer that. So let's talk about Demar Derozan now, what he's been doing this season. So first off, Demar Derozan, at the age of 33 years old, I feel has peaked as an NBA player. He's averaging 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on 60% true shooting as the Bulls are the second seed with a 19-10 record. He's averaging 7.7 points in the fourth quarter, leading the NBA with 44, 45, 91 shooting splits in the fourth. He's also scored 199 total points in the fourth quarter. Neither him nor Westbrook are good three-point shooters, but one of them is far more efficient than the other. I know this whole video is kind of based on a hypothetical, but still, I feel like DeRozan could have been a great help to the Lakers. Now, it might have been hard though to put him alongside LeBron and AD, considering that their offense is very tailored around them. I still feel like it would have worked though, given how he is a lower usage player than Westbrook. He also playmake better for others, given his time in San Antonio. He also could have been relied on in the clutch, like I mentioned before, of all his fourth quarter statistics. He also would have been cheaper than Westbrook, and the Lakers could have potentially kept Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Caruso too. Who knows though? Maybe the Lakers can still get back on track to being a top team in the West like 2 years ago and can bring back another title to Los Angeles. But it'll only get tougher as time goes on. But I guess this whole Demar Derozan thing will have to go down as a what if. Anyways though guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.